What has been your biggest fuck up leading up to this point in life? I tried to walk across a guardrail and ended up slipping and hitting my gooch in just the right spot that it tore my urethra. Had a catheter for about 3 months after that. Welp, that's enough Reddit for today. Choosing the wrong degree multiple times. A few years ago finally decided on computer science, and I fucking hate it. Only have like 8ish classes left, so I would be stupid not to finish it, but I have no desire to do anything computer science related. Once you have your degree, there are sometimes transfer agreements, accelerated programs that might be an option, so you could study something else in a shorter amount of time. Is that if you have your bachelor's degree? I got mine in 2016 and went for my doctorate degree for 2 years before I realized it was something I didn't want to do anymore. Yes, I got my bachelor's in a general bio degree and almost did an accelerated master's in nursing. I know there are other accelerated programs out there though that exist. Just look into a program and find their prereqs. I was missing 2 classes for minutes as an example, and you can take them at a community college. The first year of the accelerated programs gets you the bachelor's in the field, followed by a couple more years to get your master's. Once you have the bachelor's, all the general ed stuff they know is fulfilled, so you will only be taking core stuff for your field of interest. They can be a little pricier though, but I hope this info helps. Tried to kill myself when I was 24. Did the whole inpatient thing and therapy. Now I'm 28. Still living with my parents and struggling to win the battle with my mental health. Really frustrating. I just want to be a functional adult. I'm 27 and just got out of inpatient last month. I've been fighting for so long and I get better and then I just get so much worse again. I'm sorry. I'm sick of this shit too. We'll get there. On my 16th birthday, my much older brother killed himself. My regret is that I had called him to ask him to come out with my friends and I to celebrate at a local restaurant. But on the first drink thought he probably doesn't want to hang out with a bunch of 15-16-year-olds and hung up the phone. They found his body the next morning. I will never be whole again. As someone who wants to kill himself every day with a younger brother, thanks for this comment. We've drifted apart a lot in the last few years and we have more formal interactions than we used to. We grew up inseparable and I became the golden child turned fuck up who lives at home and he's in school building a great life for himself. I almost feel ashamed just taking to him, although I know he doesn't judge me, if that makes sense. He's quite honestly the reason I'm still here and breathing. We're different. I don't want the things he wants, but I look up to him. Someday I may tell him all these things, but for now he needs to just focus on himself and I on myself. Love you, stranger. Quitting a job before I had another one. Long story, which led to my savings being drained and my credit card debt soaring through the roof. I've recovered about a year later, but my savings are basically non-existent as I spent all of my excess paying down debt. Sometimes you need to leave. It's hard to do, but it's usually the right decision. I just quit my job with nothing lined up. I was about to kill myself when I realized that if I just quit, at least I'd be able to be alive still and it might be worth it. I'm still depressed as fuck, but at least I don't have that shitty fucking job. Staying with someone for way too long because I thought I could help them. I was 25 when I met her. She was broken and very needy. She had a lot of issues with herself. Mainly she always felt insecure and inadequate. For those times when she was okay, everything was amazing and she was the best person to be around with. But those times were rare. She was jealous about anyone and everyone. I didn't even hang around my friends anymore because she would make me feel guilty later on and she could never get along with them. I always thought I could help her, but only after everything fell apart did I realize that in my effort to always be there for her I broke myself. We broke up 2 years ago. I'm now 33 and just starting to fix relationships that I've abandoned because I was too focused on her. I don't blame her at all because that was my choice, but it's been hard. This cut deep. Not because the same happened to me, but because my case is exactly the opposite. My girlfriend broke up with me last week and I've been devastated. But what hurts the most is to realize that I was to blame. I have a lot of issues with myself and she tried to help me. She was always there for me. But I just kept giving her problems. My problems. I know she'll be okay. But I'll always regret the way I treated her. I feel both sides of this. In my last relationship, my ex was seemingly my soulmate. We loved all the same things and when it was great, it was great. But we both had issues we needed to address within ourselves separately. He put all the blame on me, and it took me a while to take him off the pedestal. We were great together but the timing was off, since we hadn't addressed our insecurities and issues at that point. I haven't dated since because how often does life give you someone that ticks all the boxes? And I'm so aware of my failings that I don't want to fuck up again. Kid with wrong person really ends your life for the most part. I'm in this position. I'm sure I can pick up the pieces but I know it's going to take a very long time. I've effectively pissed away my youth. Oh, me too. And it was really hard for many years. But now my daughter is about to turn 18 and she's an absolute go-getter who is getting into a great college. I'm so happy I have her. Holding on to hate and resentment about my dad has fucked up mentally. Instead of dealing with it in a healthy way, I've held on to the hate and resentment and have blamed him for everything wrong in my life. I'm in therapy now and trying to unlearn toxic behaviors. I should have stood up for myself and others multiple times instead of worrying about what others were thinking of me. Edit. Wow. Thank you for the awards and comments. I wish I had some crazy wisdom to impart, but all I can say is I believe in all of you and we've got this. Same. Now when I look back it wouldn't have made much difference for them but it would have made a lot of positive difference in my life. Actually I would have gained respect instead of appearing as a spineless creature. Being scared of what people thought. We all go through that at some point. It takes a lot of personal growth to overcome that state of mind. Especially when you're in your 20s. Thanks very much. I needed to hear that. Starting to smoke. I was a super heavy smoker. I was driving home from a charity event for American Cancer Society. I recognized the irony, and I stopped at a rest stop to grab coffee. I was having a cigarette and a lady who had barely survived lung cancer came up to me in the parking lot and asked me to quit. She said, I wish someone just came up to me and asked me to quit. So that is what I am doing for you. Please quit before it's too late. And so I stopped at the drugstore and got the patch. The process is uncomfortable and it took me a year of using it to finally come off of it, but it's been 6 years since I have had a cigarette. Please quit before it's too late. Probably dropping out of my dream college to be closer to my now ex. Regret that decision every single day. Edit. I did not expect anyone to see this, lol, for real. I just signed up for Reddit today, but thank you all for the words of encouragement and sharing your experiences too. It's kind of comforting in a weird way knowing that I am not the only one to make this mistake. Is the dream college no longer an option? It's still very much an option but nowhere near viable with my current situation. That was a very trying time in my life and it kinda destroyed me on the inside, and now I have fears of going back and failing again just like last time. I think you should still give it a shot. OP. You're a stronger and wiser person now. Being a floater, meaning being friends with multiple friend groups in life without really being a solid part in any one. Left with none eventually. Edit. Floaters unite. Thank you all for all the kind words. It's nice to not feel alone in this. I don't know how to be a solid part. People just don't invite me, so there's no point in a one-way relationship. I don't claim to be an expert, but my advice is to change the focus from trying to get others to invite me to trying to be the person who invites everyone. My experience has been that most people want to be part of a group but lack the confidence or initiative to make it happen. So there are tons of people out there, like yourself, hoping other people will invite them to things. Might as well be the one doing the inviting. Also, there will absolutely be lots of people with whom you just don't click, and that's fine. You don't need to or want to be close friends with everyone. But you won't find close friends without striking out with a lot of other people first. And you can't strike out unless you're stepping up to the plate. So decide on something you enjoy doing and invite people to do it. Repeat until you have a decent group of friends that consistently like doing those same things you do. Getting married to the wrong person. It led to a lengthy divorce in which time my ex tanked me financially. It took me years to recover. It tanked and financially because I don't know how to type. Right there with you on that one. It's been 8 years and I'm just now seeing the light again. So you're saying there's hope. Almost 3 years out and it's starting to get pretty lonely. But I have a better job, money and savings for the first time in my life. Thank you for watching and listening to my channel. Feel free to drop a comment and be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification button for the latest video I publish every day. See you on the next video, very Reddit fans.